Around the world, leadership changes often reflect the rhythm of democracy. Elections, transitions, new visions. But in parts of Africa, a few presidents have defied that rhythm, staying in power not just for terms, but for generations. Today, we look at 5 African leaders who have remained at the helm of their nations for over 30 years. Not to praise or criticize, but to understand. How did they last so long? What do their stories say about power, legacy, and change on the continent? Number 1, Teodoro Obiang Nguema Busogo, age 83, President of Equatorial Guinea in office since 1979. Obiang came to power after a military coup that removed his uncle. Since then, he has led the country through major political and economic changes, particularly following the discovery of oil. His leadership style is firm, and his administration has emphasized national sovereignty. When Obiang assumed office in 1979, the Soviet Union still existed. The Cold War was shaping global politics. More than 4 decades later, he remains one of the longest-serving heads of state in the world. Number 2, Paul Biya, age 92, President of Cameroon, in office since 1982. Biya became president after serving as prime minister under President Amadou Ahidjo. Over the years, he has overseen a period of continuity and stability, though elections in Cameroon have drawn international scrutiny for fairness. In 1982, the year Biya took office, Michael Jackson's Thriller, one of the best-selling albums of all time, was just about to be released. His presidency has now lasted through several generations of Cameroonian citizens, most of whom have never known another head of state. Number 3, Yoweri Museveni, age 80, President of Uganda, in office since 1986. Museveni came to power as a rebel leader promising reform and a new political direction for Uganda. Over time, he has become a defining figure in Ugandan politics, credited with improving infrastructure and security, while also drawing criticism for constitutional changes that removed presidential term and age limits. In 1986, when Museveni assumed the presidency, IBM had just launched its first laptop computer. The modern tech age was only beginning. Today, he remains a central figure in East Africa, shaping Uganda's domestic and foreign policy. Number 4, Isaias Afwerki, age 79, President of Eritrea, in office since 1993. Isaias Afwerki became Eritrea's first and only president after leading a grueling 30-year armed struggle for independence from Ethiopia. In 1993, the same year Intel launched the first Pentium processor, Eritrea was just stepping onto the world stage as a new nation. That reminder of the early digital age puts into perspective just how long Afwerki has remained at the helm of this young nation. Under his leadership, Eritrea has pursued a policy of self-reliance, placing national unity and security above all. The government's tight control, including mandatory national service, has drawn both domestic support and international criticism. Yet for over 3 decades, Afwerki has remained a central figure in shaping Eritrea's identity and political landscape. Number 5, Denis Sassou Nguesso, age 81, President of the Republic of the Congo, in power for a combined 39 years. Sassou Nguesso first served from 1979 to 1992 under a single-party system. After a brief loss of power during a period of political transition, he returned to office in 1997 following a civil conflict. Constitutional reforms in 2015 allowed him to remain in office beyond earlier term limits. While his leadership has emphasized development and diplomacy, it has also raised questions about political pluralism and institutional checks and balances. His story reflects the broader tensions between stability and renewal in post-colonial African governance. These 5 leaders came to power in very different contexts: military coups, liberation movements, and political succession. Some inherited fragile systems, others rebuilt countries from conflict or colonial rule, but they all stayed in office, often reshaping their nation's laws and political cultures, to allow extended leadership, but to truly understand their longevity. Let's pause and look back at what the world looked like when they took office. Obiang, 1979. The Cold War was still active. The USSR still stood. Biya, 1982. Michael Jackson's Thriller was about to change music history. Museveni, 1986. IBM had just introduced the laptop computer. Afwerki, 1993. The same year, Intel launched the first Pentium processor, Sassou Nguesso, 1979, and again in 1997. Congo was transitioning from a single-party state to multi-party, democracy and back. These comparisons don't cast judgment. They simply show the scale of time we're talking about and the scope of change these leaders have lived through. Some argue that long-serving leaders offer stability, particularly in regions with histories of conflict or colonial division. Others say that extended rule can hinder democratic growth, weaken institutions, or reduce political competition. The reality often lies somewhere in between. Shaped by history, culture, economics, and public opinion, across Africa, citizens continue to engage with these legacies. Youth-led movements are pushing for transparency and participation. Civil society groups are calling for reforms. Many countries, peaceful transitions of power have begun to reshape expectations. But in the countries we've explored today, these long-serving presidents remain at the center of national politics. Their legacies will be studied for years, too, not only for the length of their rule, but for the roles they played in shaping national development, identity, and leadership transitions. Whether seen as stabilizing forces or as examples of unchecked power, these leaders remain central figures. In the story of post-independence Africa, their impact is undeniable. But how that impact is judged may depend on who is telling the story. Do you believe this kind of long-term leadership has helped move their countries forward or held them back? Share your thoughts in the comments.